Welcome to a day in the life of a full-time writer. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I am writing my very first book, which is an adult fantasy novel that I call Project Lily. I'm currently writing draft 4 and this morning I started chapter 24. Lately, I've been starting off my day by doing a short writing sprint in the morning. This morning I did it for 30 minutes. I have found that these have been a monumental game changer to my writing days. First of all, my writing is really fresh in my head throughout the rest of the day. It's a lot easier to get into it when I go back to write. It's also nice because I have some writing done for the day. There are so many times where I have plans to write all day and something happens or I get distracted and I don't end up writing as much as I wanted, or maybe I don't end up writing anymore at all. And because I did this writing sprint in the morning, I at least will always have words on the page every day. I also like writing in the morning because it's kind of quiet and I can be really productive. The world hasn't really woken up yet, so there's not a lot of environmental noise and it just helps me focus a little bit better. Also, there's no distractions, like I don't have emails or texts coming in and I'm just not thinking about everything that I need to do first thing when I wake up. I literally wake up, get my breakfast, walk to the couch, and start writing. So I did have a really productive sprint this morning. I wrote about 275 words, which is great for half an hour. Sometimes I end up writing for an hour or 2 hours. It really depends what I've got going on that day. Since I'm recording, I wanted to take a break and talk to you. I will be adding in one more sprint this morning, and that is going to be what I do next. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet. I can either keep writing the chapter I'm on, or I can go back and add something that I completely forgot. As I was starting this chapter this morning, I got to this point where a side character is reintroduced, and it's been some time since they've seen that person, and that person now lives in another place. And I completely forgot to mention the fact that this person moved. And so as the story reads right now, the person has been in one place and then, all of a sudden, magically, he's in another. This is something I completely missed. It's not in my plot grid. It's not in anything. Like, it is just something I completely forgot to incorporate into a place in my story. And I'm glad I realized it, but now it means I need to go back and add it. I do know exactly where I'm going to add it. It's just totally, like, because it wasn't in my plot grid and because I didn't think about it at the time I was making my plot grid, I just totally lost track of having to actually mention that this person was moving. I don't think it'll be a huge fix, maybe like 15 minutes. I literally just have to put probably like 3 lines in the story and I already know where I want to put it. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't typically go back and add things because I don't want to consider myself like a tinkerer of the document, but this is a pretty important piece of info and it's not like an idea I randomly had and want to incorporate. It's like it's been part of the story this entire time. I just forgot to put it in. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I may go ahead and add that. It'll take a short amount of time and then I can go back on to working on chapter 24. This again is a new scene. I can't believe how many new scenes I have in this draft. It's the last one, thank goodness. So once this scene is done, I say scene, it might end up being like 2 chapters, I'm guessing. But after this scene is done, I'm going to head back into stuff that's already written. Pretty much from here on out, the plot isn't changing, the story's not changing. It's exactly the same as it was in draft 3. There's just going to be some minor tweaks, like maybe an extra conversation needs to happen or they need to mention something. Nothing that's too crazy, nothing that's going to require me to do a bunch of brainstorming. I think I'm going to end up doing some brainstorming today because I know how chapter 24 starts, but I'm not exactly sure of all the events that happen inside it. So I think I'm going to continue writing today and get to the point where I need to brainstorm and then probably stop and pick that up in the next writing sprint. I'm anxious to go ahead and start writing because I did a really great job this morning and I'm hoping that it will continue throughout the rest of the day. But before I start writing, I do want to make a special announcement, and that is I just got monetized on YouTube. I want to thank everybody. You guys were really supportive in my last several videos and cheering me on and watching my content. And it did finally happen. So from this point forward, I am earning money on YouTube, and that's really exciting. I now have a source of income coming in during my period of unemployment. Is it a crazy income? Absolutely not. But it's something, and I am happy with something over nothing. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know because you guys are very instrumental in this happening, but it really is amazing. I've been doing this for 2 years and I feel like finally I've reached this milestone and I don't have to worry about being monetized anymore. Like, I don't know why I was so worried about it before, but it kind of consumed my thoughts, which is probably not a good thing. And now that I am, I just feel like this relief. And now I can just continue on doing my content and not worry about it. I'm super happy about being monetized and grateful to all of you for watching and subscribing. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there before I get into the rest of the vlog, because the rest of the vlog is gonna be writing. It's time for something other than writing, and it's going to be admin time. I recently have started dedicating a half hour to an hour a few times a week to do admin tasks. These things range from calling a doctor's office to checking my bank statements to filling out some kind of form online that I need to fill out. Anything that requires like 5 minutes of time that I have put off for days and weeks. That is what I do in this admin time. I have started keeping a running list of all my admin tasks in my phone, and I just try and cross them out one by one. But unfortunately, it seems like I just keep adding more, even though I'm taking stuff off. And today's task is unfortunately something that's probably gonna take the whole half hour that I have dedicated to this, and that is paying my taxes. It's April 10th, which means I have 5 days left to file my taxes. Now, these are not my 2025 year taxes. I've already paid those. These are going to be my 2026 first quarter taxes. Yes, even when you are unemployed, you still have to pay taxes. And if you don't have your money taken out of your paycheck, you have to pay it yourself every quarter. And even though I don't have a job, I still have things that make money, such as bank interest and stock dividends. It's not tons, but I still have to pay tax on it. And now that I'm monetized on YouTube, I will definitely have to be doing quarterly taxes off my YouTube income. I didn't start earning till April, so this technically is for the first quarter, January through March. So my YouTube income won't be included on this, but going forward, it's going to be really, really important that I do my quarterly taxes so I can capture this YouTube income. I have to do both federal and state. That's why I think it's going to take like a half hour, because I have to go through and look up bank statements and calculate out how much I think I owe and then pay that. And it's just going to take a bit of work. And then after that, I'm going to go for a walk. It is a beautiful 60 degrees outside today. And it's like the first nice, I think we had a few 60-degree days like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then it got really cold again. And this is like the first true spring day that we've had here. It's not really going to get much colder than this, at least in the next 10 days, where I can see on the weather forecast it's going to stay around 60. Next week it's going to hit 80. I can't wait. I've been so frozen this winter that I'm really looking forward to some nice weather. So I will be heading out on probably a long walk. Hopefully I'll see some blooming trees and flowers, because as I ran my pointless errand this afternoon, I noticed little tiny buds on trees and some of the irises were coming up. I do like doing non-writing tasks in the early afternoon because I tend to have that post-lunch crash and my mind just doesn't really work from like 1 to 3. And so there's not much of a point in me writing from 1 to 3. So it's a good time for me to do things that don't require much effort, like paying my taxes and going for a walk. And then by the time I get back from my walk, I will be ready to get back into writing. had a really amazing afternoon. My walk was wonderful. There were so many daffodils out. All the daffodils were blooming and they were in all different colors. It was really nice to see. It's confirmation that spring is here and I cannot be more thrilled. Something really interesting did happen on my walk. So when I was walking, the sun was on my back a lot of the time and I could feel the warmth of the sun through my clothes. And it reminded me of a scene that I wrote a few days ago where this character had been really, really cold and then they sat with their back to the fire. And I felt like that character in that moment and it was just really cool. A lot of times I see things that remind me of my characters, but it's not often that like something happens and I can almost put myself in my character's shoes. But anyways, I came back from my walk and I brainstormed. I had hit a point in my chapter where I knew what needed to be said for a while, and then it became like a little more ambiguous. I'm not really sure if that's the right word. And I wasn't really sure where this was gonna go. Like I had a general idea, but I just couldn't really figure out like what actions the characters were taking to get there and what was happening. I sat down and scribbled in my notebook. I came up with a bunch of great ideas and possibilities for how to get there. I am picking one and I'm gonna go with it, but if I don't like it, at the end, I have the option to change it because I have other ideas. I did start writing that new part a little bit, but I didn't get very far just because of the amount of time or the limited amount of time I had available to me. It is dinner time now, and I am actually going to make a frozen pizza. This is going to sound really strange, but I have been craving a frozen pizza. I don't eat frozen pizza very often. I think the last time I had one was like a year ago. And I've been trying to put it off because I'm like, maybe that craving will go away, and it hasn't. So tonight is frozen pizza night. And after I have my frozen pizza, I'm gonna get back into writing for most of the evening. But I will be taking breaks because the astronauts are landing today. And I could not be more excited to watch that. And I think it's gonna be like over the course of 3 hours because they have to descend and do all this maneuvering and stuff. So it's going to take time and I will be distracted while writing, but this is really cool and I love this kind of stuff. And I always give myself the extra time to watch things like this. Like I'm taking this time tonight to watch the astronauts land, and I took some time off from writing to watch the Olympics just because it's healthy to take breaks once in a while. I don't often put things on the television and watch them while I write, but tonight is a super special occasion. Okay, I'm gonna go make dinner. My mouth is literally watering thinking about this frozen pizza. So I'm gonna go make that, and then I will catch back up with you at the end of the evening after the astronauts have landed and after I've done all my writing. I finished my writing for the evening. It was a very productive evening, aside from the fact that I lost about an hour of writing time because I was watching the astronauts, but it was amazing. I am going a little bit more slowly on this chapter just because it's new. I have tended to struggle with new chapters in this draft for some reason, and I'm struggling again. It's nothing new. It's just something I've kind of learned to deal with. I just have to push myself to get through it because I've found that once I push myself to get through it, then I can go back and revise it and tweak it and make the chapter sound a lot better. I just really have to focus on getting my ideas out first. Even though it's been difficult to write, I am having a really great time writing this chapter because it is another chapter where my two favorite characters who hate each other are in the same scene. And so I've been having a blast the last hour or so because I'm in one of those exchanges where they're arguing with each other. It's great. I was about to give a spoiler. But anyway, I really enjoy writing their scenes, and so it's a really good way to end the evening by having a lot of fun with my writing. It has been a very writing-centric day. I do have these from time to time, but not every day. I really enjoy my writing-centric days just because it gives me time to really immerse myself in the story and to focus and to come up with new ideas. This was just a quick little snippet into what it's like to be a full-time writer. As you can see, I write most of the day. I don't just clock in for a certain amount of time and then leave. Like, I pretty much make it my mission to write as much as I can during the day, but then I do give myself breaks. So that way I can kind of recharge throughout the day and not lose my creative spark. I did write today about 1,500 words. That's really great. I consider any day over 1,000 words perfect for me. So I made good progress today and I'm very satisfied with it. Having productive writing days always puts me in a good mood as I head into the end of the evening. I'm not frustrated, I'm happy, I can go to bed with a smile on my face. It's great. I really hope you enjoyed spending the day with me, and I will see you in the next writing vlog.